Welcome to Bible Questions. We are continuing our series of Bible questions tonight as we go through. Is coronavirus one of the plagues in the book of Revelation? Unless you've been living under a rock for the past 3 weeks, you have probably seen, heard, and read about the coronavirus that's disrupting life all over the globe. And it's quite likely that it has had a direct impact on you, even if you haven't gotten sick from it. Social distancing has become a new byword in the past few days. The ban of large gatherings, including churches, and the closing of many establishments where people gather are common. Empty shelves at the grocery store are a normal sight. And there is a perception that things will get worse before they begin to improve. Many people opportunity look. Many people opportunity look. Many people ultimately look to connect any large-scale disaster in Revelation and see it in it a sign of the end. But should we? This article will look at this virus and its relationship to Revelation, and then at how as Christians we should respond to it. There seems to be a lot of confusion about this virus. Started in its name, coronavirus is a family of viruses that include common cold, seasonal flu, MERS and SARS. The World Health Organization gave given this particular coronavirus the acronym COVID-19 for coronavirus disease 2019. The actual name is SARS-CoV-2. Although that's a pseudonym used by the press. This coronavirus originated in China and seems related to the wildlife trade there. It is highly infectious and sees a mortality rate of around 3 to 4%. Although that is still not known for sure, at the time of this writing, it has spread through most of the world. The impact though is forecast to continue to increase for the next few months, potentially millions of people dying from it. Is COVID-19 one of the basic revelation? So, is COVID-19 one of the 7 plagues mentioned in Revelation 16-17? When it might be tempting to try and identify this virus with one of these plagues, I believe there are a couple of reasons not to. The first reason is that those 7 plagues are identified as the completion of God's work, and the plagues seem directly solely towards those who belong to the kingdom of the Antichrist. But this virus is not as discriminating. There seems to be no one who is immune to it. Saints and skeptics alike are affected by it. A second reason to doubt is one in the face of Revelation, that we know the source of this virus. As many of the coronaviruses do, it jumped from a human to an animal to human and spread from there. COVID-19 is simply more contagious than most, and as well as generally more deadly. To all appearances, COVID-19 seems to be just a natural event rather than a supernatural action of God. It's an event that is unique in history, but is apart from its severity rather common. It's even something that our infectious disease experts have been appreciating and warning us about for many years. Is the coronavirus a sign of the end times? But if not one of the 7 plagues of God's wrath, Could it be a sign of the end times? Again, I do not believe so. In the 14th century, the Black Plague killed 30 to 60% of the population of Europe. In 1918, the Spanish flu, another coronavirus, killed 50 to 100 million people worldwide. Tuesday Stalin is credited with killing 20 million people. Mao Zedong is estimated to be responsible for the deaths of up to 45 million people. Estimates are around 20 million deaths in World War One and 75 million in World War Two. People going through deadly periods in the past have frequently looked like it as a sign, but it was not. While the death toll for COVID-19 could potentially approach that of the Spanish flu. There is no reason to expect that it's heralding the end either. And ultimately, we will not know when the end will come. In Matthew 24, Jesus warns us that there will be many signs that will appear to point in the end. But they're just looking forward to the end, not the end itself. Jesus answered, "Watch out that no one sees you, for many will come in my name, claim, I am the Messiah, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nations will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of earthquakes." Right. Obviously, as you head around the country, this COVID-19 could result in a famine. Potentially, if control the famine, that will apply to Southern Africa and Asia, parts of Asia. Well, Jesus did not specifically mention viruses here. I believe it is safe to include them, since they're just as devastating as those viruses he did mention. History is replete with plagues, wars, and natural disasters that kill large numbers of people, but none of these has been a sign of the end. Well, COVID-19 is likely not one of the 7 last plagues of Revelation, nor a sign of the end times. It is still very real, and as Christians, we need to respond appropriately to it. The first thing we should do is follow the directions of our government and medical experts. Keep your hands clean, avoid crowds, keep your distance from other people, take advantage of the opportunity to strengthen relationships within your family. But as Christians, there's more we can do. Take the time you have while you're at school and work on your relationship with God. Pray, read, and study your Bible, and practice spiritual disciplines. Reach out to your neighbours, even while taking all the precautions. You can still be in contact with your neighbour, let them know you care, and have helped them. And be acquiring common information of those who you connect online. There is much fear-mongering and fake news concerning about this virus. Rather than for the anxiety that is going around, share the love of Christ. Remember that this will be behind us some way. It is not the end. Life in such a way now that you glorify God. And when this is over, your response to this virus and social disruption will continue to bear testimony the goodness and love of God. We're going to continue for our next question. And we are going to look. We're going to look at history. See if there's anything in there. So we're going to look at history. We're going to look about the church at this time. Wait for it to connect. Wait for it to connect. Wait for it to connect. We know that trials purify our faith in the words of Job. When he has tested me, I will come forth as gold. Faith of gold depends on its purity. Gold is purified by means of a smelting process, which utilizes pressure, high heat, and chemicals to sandwich the task. The process of smelting involves a heating and metal beyond its melting point. Dross and properties will rise to the surface and then can be skinned off. The process, perhaps that is one of God's purposes for allowing this global pandemic right now. Purify his body. The church. Purification sounds hard, but it is crucial. Without the process of purification, the impurities, wildness, and fullness remain. When is the wonder? It's God uses this time to purify his church and draw us closer to him. Draw James 4, 8, verse 8-10 says this. Come near to God, and he will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts. You double-minded, grieve, moan, and wail. Change your light to the morning, and enjoy the gloom. Humble yourself before the Lord, and he will lift you up. To many of us, as though we are being tried on the mountain points where the heat is intense. It feels like it's going on too long. Distractions are currently minimized. Just a few months ago, we were so busy running around, meeting with people, going out to lunch or coffee, or setting up play dates, getting our hair cut or nails done, shopping, spending money, entertaining ourselves, planning parties, going to the gym, taking the kids to practice, rehearsal, walk. So much of that busyness has been stripped from our daily lives right now. Is God attempting to get our attention? Have we been ignoring him? Is the dross of our daily lives being skinned off? Have we been double-minded? We now have more time. We use it to get to know God, to come near to Him. Will the church come forth as pure God? Or we would perhaps have a poor version of the church at the end of this trial. That should be our prayer for the global church right now as we face this virus together. Purify your church, Lord Jesus, when this time of trial is over. May the church come forth as God. Going to church has never been easier than it is right now. We can literally stay on the couch in our pajamas and still attend our church's worship services. Going to church has never been easier. But being in the church has perhaps never been harder. Serving, ministering to each other, and meeting the needs of our church, body, and community right now require new levels of commitment, creativity, and even courage. Will become lazier and more epic than ever, or will the church rise up and meet this global pandemic head on for the glory of God? Gardener's brooms. Jesus says this in John 15:1-2. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit. Well, every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes so that it will be even more faithful. Fruit trees need to be pruned to improve tree life, encourage new shoots, and to remove dead or broken branches. Pruning produces healthier and trees and more wise fruit. Following thoughts on fruit and pruning on John 15 came from Bruce Williamson's book, Secrets of the Vine. The words fruit and good deeds in the Bible are used almost interchangeably, and yet our people learn to devote themselves into good works, as to help cases of urgent need, and not be unfruitful. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, fruitfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. I asked audiences all over the world how we would describe the level of fruit bearing among Christians today. Their responses were constant. They include that nearly half of all Christians bear little or no fruit. Another third bear some fruit. Only about 5% bear a lot. Looking at the Christians you go to church with, these numbers apply to you. Where do you fit in? Is this portrait of God's people even remotely true? You can emergently grasp the importance of the teachings from the vineyard. Bearing fruit is not some unique phenomenon reserved for certain kinds of Christians. It is the destiny of every believer. If Jesus chose us for abundance, expects abundance, and created us to deeply desire it, how can we ever find fulfillment in a half-empty basket? The answer is this: we can't, and we don't have to. God's strategy for coaxing a greater harvest out of His branch is not the one you and I would prefer. His plan is to prune, which means to thin, to reduce the cut off. As unthinkable as it sounds, as contrary as it is, to find Chris's secret for more is less. Is this a topic that interests you? I highly recommend Secrets of the Vine. In it, Wilkinson explains the great vine's love to grow. The vine itself can become so dense that sunlight cannot even penetrate, diminishing fruit production. Pruning must happen for the vine to bear fruit. Not all growth is good growth. Don't miss this next quote. The question, rampant For the Christian rampant life represents all these provocations and bodies in our lives that, while not wrong, are given as mere significant from God. Busyness and activity do not acquire spiritual fruit. Right now, God is eliminating our preoccupations and lesser priorities. The unnecessary has been cut away, at least for now. What will you do with this new opportunity of less distractions? This new perspective for life and church. Don't miss what God wants to accomplish. Allow Him the right to prune away, and unnecessary to allow for abundant fruit. We can gather, participate with Him to break away from John 15 makes it clear that we need to abide us. All remain in the vine in order to bear fruit. Both purifying and pruning come in the form of trials and hardship. Neither one feels good at the time, like this current pandemic in which we are living. God purifies and prunes both His individual children and His church as a whole. We know this, for example, of the Holy Church in the New Spirit, the New Testament. Being confined with sin and guilt led to the birth of the Christ Church. Persecution led to the spread of the gospel and salvation of many. A severe famine prompted believers to give generously to brothers and sisters in need. False teachers helped clarify the true gospel. The morality and the need for church discipline led the church to a greater understanding to the sanctification and holiness. We also know this from incidents in more recent church history. The church continues to flourish and grow in areas of the world where Christians are persecuted. Corruption in the church has led to times of reformation. Recently, untold numbers of refugees have come to serve in faith as a result of having to flee their homelands, which were closed to the gospel. Is God purifying and pruning the church? Right now, it seems obvious. He is. And may He be glorified by the results. Thank you for coming tonight. It's been a great time to see you all tonight. So I'll be back tomorrow with another YouTube video. We'll be going on with my other series that is going on. We'll be continuing to talk about pandemics. That is my Sunday series about pandemics. Interesting stuff. Then in the week, we'll be continuing the other second series that's been going on at the moment. Bible questions. I'd like to say that to you. Of course. So I'll be back for tomorrow with the science of pandemics.